Have you ever watched someone's career collapse faster than a cryptocurrency after a Logan Paul promotion? That's James Corden. This wasn't just a fall from grace, it was a full-on ejection, powered by his own ego. He went from hosting one of America's biggest late-night shows to being so disliked that fans created petitions to ban him from movies he hadn't even been cast in. His transformation from charming Brit to please make it stop is one of the most astonishing downfalls in modern entertainment. So, buckle up. Because what began as a few questionable jokes became a masterclass in how to alienate nearly everyone. To understand how spectacular Corden's crash truly was, we have to rewind to when people actually liked him. Hard to believe now, but there was a time he was genuinely admired. In the UK, he co-created and starred in Gavin and Stacey, a warm, feel-good sitcom that felt like comfort food after a long day. Audiences adored it, critics praised it, awards followed. He was seen as a humble, relatable success story, proof that talent and charm could still win. Then came the turning point. Success hit James like a freight train of ego, and he couldn't get out of its way. Friends and family had to intervene. Even co-star Rob Brydon publicly called him a spoiled brat. Corden later admitted therapy helped him realize he'd become someone he didn't even like. And when your own mother tells you to calm down, it's safe to say you've lost perspective. The first real warning sign came in 2010 at the Glamour Awards. Corden got into a heated onstage spat with Sir Patrick Stewart. Not a playful exchange, but a full-blown argument. He mocked Stewart's age and made dark jokes, while Stewart retaliated with comments about Corden's weight. The whole thing played out like an awkward family fight at Christmas dinner, yet somehow he bounced back. Landing the Late Late Show in America looked like redemption. Carpool karaoke became a global phenomenon. The Adele episode alone broke YouTube records in 2016. Celebrities lined up to sing along. He hosted the Tonys, the Grammys, and appeared in blockbuster films. For a while, it seemed like James Corden was unstoppable. The British export America didn't know it needed. But beneath the cheerful exterior, nothing had really changed. The nice guy routine was just that, an act. And soon, the cracks began to show. In 2017, during the Harvey Weinstein scandal, Corden joked about the victims at a charity gala, implying Weinstein invited women to his hotel for massages. The backlash was instant and unforgiving. Rose McGowan blasted him. Anthony Bourdain joined in. Corden apologized, but the damage was irreversible. The glossy facade had started to peel away. Next came the Emmys, where Corden was photographed kissing Trump's former press secretary, Sean Spicer. Social media erupted. He was accused of normalizing political propaganda and cozying up to anyone who could boost his image. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Seeing Corden kiss Spicer reawakened my 2010-era Corden hate. Then came the 2019 Reddit AMA, which turned into a public roasting. Instead of fans asking questions, the top comments were all horror stories about his off-camera behavior, being rude to staff, dismissive to writers, and generally unbearable behind the scenes. A viral rumor even claimed he ignored his crying baby and wife on a flight. Completely false, but everyone believed it. And that says everything. When your reputation is so bad that people assume the worst without proof, you've already lost. Then the plagiarism claims started. Comedians like Noel Fielding and Ricky Gervais accused him of stealing jokes, including one bit that Gervais had done almost word for word. Each time, Corden apologized. Each time, a little more trust evaporated. Soon after, he was called out again, this time for his Spill Your Gut segment, where he mocked traditional Asian dishes as disgusting and horrific. More than 45,000 people signed a petition calling him culturally insensitive, especially during a rise in anti-Asian hate crimes. He promised to tweak the segment, but never truly apologized, saying only, "We don't want to upset anybody." And then came the now infamous Cinderella flash mob debacle. Picture this. James Corden, in a mouse costume, hip-thrusting in the middle of Los Angeles traffic to promote the film. The collective second-hand embarrassment online could have powered a small city. One user joked, "The risk of running into a James Corden flash mob is now part of living in LA." But 2022 would be the final blow, the year his image completely imploded. It started with the Balthazar restaurant incident, his Ellen moment. Keith McNally, the owner, publicly banned him, calling him a tiny cretin of a man and the most abusive customer in 25 years. According to staff, Corden berated servers over a hair in his dish and yelled at them until they cried because his wife's omelet wasn't made right. He later phoned McNally to apologize, and the ban was lifted. But then, in a New York Times interview, he dismissed the whole thing as so silly and beneath all of us. McNally fired back again, saying Corden should come clean if he ever wants to regain respect from his 4 remaining fans. When Corden finally addressed it on his show, the apology was lukewarm at best. He admitted to being sarcastic about cooking the omelet himself, but spent most of the segment explaining why he didn't think he'd done anything wrong. It was the textbook, "sorry if you were offended" apology, and the internet wasn't buying it. By then, the tide had fully turned. A Change.org petition to keep him out of the Wicked movie surpassed 100,000 signatures, despite him not even being attached to the film. People were so tired of him, they were canceling things preemptively. As one columnist quipped, "Mocking James Corden has become Britain's new national pastime." Even CBS seemed ready to move on. Reports surfaced that the Late Late Show was losing $20 million a year. Corden announced his departure, saying he wanted to spend more time with his family, but everyone knew the real story. His viral moments stopped hitting. Viewers tuned out. And when the final episode aired, it felt less like a celebration and more like collective relief. Yes, big names showed up, but the energy in the room said it all. Everyone was just glad it was over. Now, back in the UK, Corden is trying to rebuild. He's returned to stage acting, hosting radio shows, even working on a Gavin and Stacey reunion. Some colleagues call him professional, even kind. A few fans argue he deserves redemption. But the internet doesn't forget, especially when someone exposes their true self this often. Because here's the truth. James Corden had everything: talent, opportunity, fame, and goodwill. And he squandered it all because he couldn't separate success from self-importance. The people he thought didn't matter, the restaurant servers, the writers, the crew, the comedians, they were watching. And when they spoke up, the world finally saw through the facade. James Corden's charm wasn't real. It was a mask covering entitlement. He went from hosting one of TV's biggest shows to becoming a modern warning about what happens when fame goes unchecked. And if there's one thing the internet never fails to do, it's to remind those who think they're untouchable that nobody really is. James Corden didn't just get humbled, he was undone by his own actions. And maybe in the end, that's exactly what he deserved. Peace. Would you like